We're always told to share our goals, right? Put it out there, create some accountability. But what if that's actually the worst advice you could take? Today, we're going to dig into the counterintuitive idea that the best way to hit your targets is to keep them a secret. It just feels wrong, doesn't it? I mean, you have this amazing idea. You're going to start a business, get in the best shape of your life, write that book, and your first instinct is to tell someone, to share that excitement. But it turns out that very act of sharing can be the thing that sabotages you before you even take the first step. So let's get into why that is. Okay, so at the most basic level, our brains are kind of simple. They're wired to do one thing really, really well: chase rewards. They want to repeat actions that lead to pleasure, to satisfaction, to that feeling of accomplishment. That fundamental drive is what gets us to do, well, pretty much anything difficult. It's all about chasing that good feeling of a job well done. So picture this. You tell your friends, hey, I'm going to run a marathon. And what happens? Immediately it's, wow, that's incredible. Or you're going to crush it. You get the high fives, the likes on social media, all of it. And right there, in that moment, you get this huge rush of social validation. It feels great. It feels like you already won. And this is where the problem starts. Because your brain, for all its amazing power, isn't so great at telling the difference between the reward you get for saying you'll do something and the reward you get for actually doing it. That praise you just got, it gave your brain a hit of satisfaction, creating this premature sense that you've already accomplished something. There's actually a name for this whole thing. It's called the dopamine trap. See, when people praise your intention, your brain releases dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical. It's the exact same chemical you get when you actually cross the finish line. So by getting that reward up front, you basically kill your motivation to do the long, hard, and usually thankless work it takes to make it happen. Neurologically speaking, you've already been paid for a job you haven't even started. So this really leaves us at a crossroads with two totally different ways to approach any big ambition. It's a choice, really, a choice between talking about the work and just doing the work. Let's take a look at these two paths. So on one side, you've got the announcer. This person is all about seeking validation for the idea itself. Their satisfaction comes from hearing other people say, that's a great plan. Then on the other side, you've got the builder. Their validation comes from inside. Their satisfaction comes from seeing actual progress, from laying one brick at a time. So let's follow the announcer's journey. Day 1 is a party. The idea is out there. Everyone's cheering. By day 7, they're still coasting on that high, but, not much actual work has happened. Then day 30 hits. The praise is gone. Nobody's asking about it anymore, and the motivation just evaporates. And by day 90, that grand plan that started with a bang is, well, it's gone. Abandoned. In this quote right here, it just nails the whole problem. The feeling of success took the place of actual success. The applause for just having the idea felt so good, so real, that it used up all the energy needed for the tough, grinding work to actually see it through. The prize was claimed before the race was even run. But now, let's look at the builder. Totally different story. On day 1, there's no big announcement. There's just work. By day 7, there's quiet, steady progress. The motivation here isn't coming from other people. It's coming from the work itself, the satisfaction of seeing something take shape. Every small, private win builds more momentum. And then on day 90, the big reveal isn't a plan. It's a finished product. The work itself does all the talking. Okay, so it's one thing to understand this trap, but how do we make sure we don't fall into it? How do we actually switch from being an announcer to being a builder? The game plan is actually super simple, but it's powerful. First, figure out exactly what you want to do. Get crystal clear on it. But then, keep it to yourself. Now, this doesn't mean you can't tell anyone, but if you do, pick someone who's going to check in on your progress, not just clap for your plan. Second, pour all of that energy into doing the work in silence. Learn to love the process, not the promise. And finally, when it's done, and only when it's done, you let the world see it. When you really boil it all down, it comes to this one simple idea. Instead of making a lot of noise about what you're about to do, just focus so intensely on getting it done that the result itself makes all the noise for you. The book on the shelf, the medal around your neck, the open for business sign. That is the only announcement that really counts. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. That big goal you've got in your head right now, the one you're really excited about, what do you think would happen if instead of telling one more person about it, you just took that first quiet step to make it happen? What could you actually build if you traded the applause for action?